Hi, this is Joe Crump. I want to show you a new piece of the push-button Automarketer system. We just built a CRM system for it, which will help you manage your leads. CRM stands for Contact Relationship Management System, which means that all of the leads that are coming in from the Automarketer can be plugged into this system, or actually they're automatically plugged into this system, and it allows you to do follow-ups and keep track of them and assign them to team members and be able to manage your leads. One of the biggest problems we've had with the Automarketer to date is the fact that we get so many leads. And I guess it's a high quality problem to have, but when the leads come in, we have to figure out a way to manage those leads, whether we're doing it ourselves or whether we're outsourcing it to somebody else. We still need to be able to follow up properly, because follow up is what makes all the difference in this process. Being able to build your credibility and be able to get people to say yes to your deals. So I'm going to show you how to use it, how it works, and I'm going to give you a little overview of it. We've got a lot of tutorial videos inside the Automarketer that show exactly how to use all these pieces, but I'm just going to give you an overview so you can see what's here and hopefully get you excited about the process and being able to use this to get your business. Just so that you can access it, the first thing you need to do is go to Automarketer phone system, this link that's in the top right-hand corner of the push-button Automarketer in your account. If you click on that, it will open up a login. And when you log in, you'll see the CRM. If you've already watched my video about the new phone system, some of this will already make sense to you. But what we've done is added a new tab. It's called the Leads tab. And when you go into the Leads tab, you'll see that the leads that you've received are all going to show up in this system, that they've already been ported over here. So you'll be able to access all your leads from this tab. You'll also be able to assign certain leads to different people depending on the team members that you set up. And you can set up your team members here if you have more than one person who are using it. You'll also be able to search by the status, whether they're a new lead that just came in, whether they're in follow-up, you've already talked to them, whether it's time to call them today, they're scheduled for today's call, and that's something that you schedule, or you're late on calling them, or they're a dead lead, they said no, and you don't ever want to contact them again, or they're an inactive lead, which means they said no, but you do want to contact them again, or they're a converted lead where you turn them into a deal. Also, they're categorized by whether the lead came in through the email blast, through the voice blast, through the text blast, or now we can manually enter our leads, or we can have them come in from some other source. So these are some new categories that you can do. You can also search all your leads by their name, by their phone number, by their address, anything that's in the lead itself, you can search by. So if I wanted to pull up the lead, let's see, I put in a lead under my name. So if I put in Crump, I can click on this and it'll just pull up the ones that are under my name. This is going to make it a lot easier to deal with these leads and to work with these leads in this process. And we get into details about what all this stuff means in the specific videos, but I'm going to go through and give you an overview and kind of give you a feel for how this works. Each of these leads individually can be changed the same way here. If I want to give it a different lead type or assign it to a different person, it can all be done right here, or I can assign it a different status. And right now we've got it in past due call, which shows up in the overview here. In the lead details tab, we're going to show all the information about this particular lead, the email address, the phone number, all the information that we've inputted or that came in through the email blast, voice blast, or text blast. Not all leads come in with full information, depending on how they came in and whether or not you've talked to them or not. So you can add that stuff as you go, and then you can save those lead details. Also, we're going to have a place for them, their properties, and they can have more than one property, and we can set up these extra properties for them. I've got one property set up here for this particular lead, and you can put the address of the property in, the house details. These are all the information you need in order to make an offer on their property. So this is also the same information that you'd find in the lead sheet that is in the Automarketer, the questionnaire that we have in the Automarketer that you can either use to call these people and ask them the questions, or you can go now into this system to use these questions, use these fields to ask them the questions and get all the information you need in order to make the offer. We also have a timeline on each one of these people, so I can either add a quick note here, and if I do, it'll send it. It will show up down here in the activity preview, and I can look at the timeline here, and it'll show me all the things that have happened in this particular lead. And you can do this for each lead. Each lead will have its own timeline. You can also either add a quick note here, or you can add a note here. And if you add a note here, you can actually give it a title and tell it what kind of note it is. Or you can add a summary for the conversation that you had with those people as well. Give it a title and give it a summary as well. You can also schedule the next time you want to call these people. So if there's nothing here, then all you hit is schedule. If there's something there, then you're going to hit reschedule, and you can put the next date that you want to contact these people. So right now we know that it's the time that it's going to actually do it is 14 days away. If I wanted to change that, I could do it that way, and I could reschedule it. It'll change the date and time, and it'll change it to 7 days. So it makes it real easy to know when the next time we're going to be talking to these people is going to be. And it also makes it possible for you to pull up the properties that you are going to be calling, the ones that you need to call today. And if I click on that button, it'll pull up anything that I have scheduled for today to call. Let's go back to the Properties tab, and let me show you. If you want to look at the properties, you can do that, or you can create a new property, and you can have as many properties for one particular lead that you want to. Sometimes we run into investors who have 10 properties or 20 properties that they want us to sell for them, or they want to sell to us, and you can put all that information here, and then pull out each one individually. So now we've got the house details here, the address of the property, the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and you can save that information as you go along. Then you can have additional contact information. If you've got a different person in the main lead that you want to be able to contact about this information will be here. You have the price information, so you can find out how much they want for it, what it'll rent for, and what they think it's worth, and all the details that we need to help us understand their motivation. And then we've got mortgage information here to find out if they've got a mortgage, second mortgage. This information is vital if you're going to be doing seller financing. You need to know what they've got on here and whether or not they're willing to sell. So again, goes back to their motivation and whether or not they'll sell it to us under the types of terms that we're going to do. I'm going to shrink this page just a little bit so that we can see one more tab here because I'm working on a small screen. If I go to Gallery, it shows me the houses that we've got. And if I want to upload pictures to this, I can. I can make one of these pictures the featured picture. And if I do that, it shows that it's the featured picture. I turned it off, I'm sorry. Let's turn it back on. Shows that it's the featured picture. Eventually, we're going to have this set up so that when you put them into this section here, it's also going to put them into your listing site on your clone site. And they're pretty easy. You can drag and drop all the files that you've got right into here, and then you can pick the one that you want to be the main picture for that particular property. The system is also set up so that you can send an email to each of these individuals, and you can create the email. It automatically fills in their email address. You can give them a template, and you can create as many different templates as you want. These are all dummy templates, but you can create a template for you. And to create a template, by the way, you just have to go to this email templates, and you can create as many new ones as you like. You can actually merge in the name and any information like that so that it'll be good for any lead that you do. So when it says hello Joe here, instead it'll say hello first name and in the template. And then when it's put into here, it'll see that who the lead is, and it'll say hello Joe in it, and it makes it really easy to change and modify these leads, and use the different types of text and formatting and all that stuff. And when you hit send email, it not only sends it, but it also puts a note in your timeline that email was sent. So when I send out an email like this, a little note comes up here, says email was sent, and then when I go to the timeline, it shows the email that was sent and what the email said. The other thing that you can do is you can call these people simply by clicking on their contact phone number, and it will call from inside the Automarketer phone system. Now, if you want information about the phone system, you can click on this tab and you can watch the other video about the phone system. But what it allows us to do is to create multiple phone numbers for your account. So if I wanted to, if Joe Crump is in Indiana, he's got a 317 area code, and I want to call him using a 317 area code. So when he gets my message, it'll be from that 317 area code, making it look like I'm in his area, which is a good thing to do, especially if I've got a telemarketer calling from, the Philippines or from Jamaica or from someplace outside of the state. We want to be able to look like we're calling from inside the state, and you can do that by setting up these systems. And also, if you've got telemarketers calling, or if you're new at this and you're still learning how to talk to sellers, it's good to be able to record your calls so that you can listen to them and make sure that they're learning it properly and that you're doing it properly as well. Sometimes the best education for learning how to talk to people on the phone is listening to yourself on the phone, because it quickly shows you where your faults are. So anyway, I can type in the phone number that I want it to call, or I can actually, call this number from here, and it'll start dialing it. And this is just my voicemail, so I'm going to hang up. But it shows that the call was ended, and so when you hang up the call, you can hit this conversation summary, and you can put the information in here, and you can do this actually while you're talking to them as well. And then once you save that, it'll put it into the activity process here. And then, of course, you can reschedule when the next call is going to be necessary. We've also got a lot of tutorials in here that show you how to do all these things to make it easier to work with. Also, I should, say again that we are in beta on this thing. This is still in beta, which means that there's still issues that we're dealing with and bugs that we're dealing with. But so far, it's working out really well, and we're having good luck with it, and people seem to be using it with success. So as you have problems, or if you see issues that arise from it, let us know. What we found is that there's more happiness to have a way to contact leads and do this follow-up than not. That the bugs are a lot less of a problem than not being able to do that in the first place. Now, keep in mind as well that the Automarketer has other ways that it does follow. And I should just go back to the Automarketer and let you know that the Automarketer is still sending out emails. It's still sending out voice blasts and text blasts. That's where you do that, not in the CRM. The CRM is a way for you to manage the leads that come in that you're going to call. The Automarketer actually follows up and does, email follow-up, with an autoresponder, because each of these leads go into an autoresponder into different categories, depending on whether they're a yes or a no, or a yes, and also give me a call. And just so you also know, I don't know how many of you have seen the lead sheets that we use, but each of these leads have a lead sheet, and this isn't a real lead, so it doesn't have the message that they sent us back. But these lead sheets are wonderful because you can put in the address of the property, verify that address, and then it'll pull it up on a Google map. And not only that, once it's pulled up on a Google map, you can either look at the classified ad to see the ad that came in, and there's not going to be one on this one because this is not a real lead. Or you can go to Rent-A-Meter, and it'll pull up the lead on Rent-A-Meter. And if I say, I think I can make $800 a month on this, this is a 3-bedroom house, analyze this, does this make sense? And it's going to tell you whether or not $800 is reasonable for that area. And we really like this. So the median rent in this area is $750, so it might be a little bit high, but still within the realm. And then, of course, it shows you where that property is. We can also look it up on Zillow, and it'll pull up some information about the value and those types of things on Zillow. We can pull it up on Google Map, and you can see it on Google Map. And when you pull it on Google Map like this, it gives you an actual picture of the property, so we can see what the property looks like on Google, which is kind of fun. So anyway, I just wanted to show you those things that are happening that are new in addition to the new lead system. And by the way, if you'll remember, in the lead system, we had all these questions. These questions are here in this lead form as well. And we set this up so that it would be easy for you to either call them yourselves or to outsource this to someone else so that we could do it as a two-step process. The reason we originally did this was a two-step process so we could have a telemarketer make these calls, save the progress, and then email that progress to the account holder and save all the data in the lead file. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's the CRM system. It's going to continue to expand and change and grow as we grow, but there's no extra charge to use the CRM system. There is a charge to use the phone system because you have to pay for the minutes for that, and you have to pay for the separate numbers, but it's way cheaper than if you went out and bought extra phone lines. And by the way, you can buy as many phone lines as you want in the system and use them from any place in the world with that, to make it look like you're making local calls, which is a real benefit because people are more comfortable working with people locally, or at least feel like they're working locally. Anyway, I hope that gets you excited about the process, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks.